Hi and welcome back to the organizing tip of the day. So I get this question a lot, but I got it today again from Green Eyes something or other. Sorry about that. She tries organizing something and their husband and kids come in and they like totally don't put things back and it becomes a mess. So it's like, how do you keep organized when your family isn't following the organizing rules? Well, for me, my kids are 2 and 4, so basically they do what I tell them or else, and that's all they've ever known. And my husband's pretty good at putting things away, but definitely I am the one who struggles with putting things back when I'm done using them, and my husband struggles with some things. So what I found really works are, of course, baskets and bins. You can never have too many, no matter what my husband says. And labeling. I label like everything. And when it's labeled, you just put things back in that place. You have to remember that not everybody organizes the same way. I am like a Heidi hoarder, so I like everything out of sight in bins and baskets and put away. My husband, on the other hand, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So he likes like neat piles all over the place so he can see where it is. So a good way of putting that together is having like clear bins that are labeled, or even having baskets and bins that are just like really clearly labeled so he knows exactly where everything is. And that's what I do to keep things organized. So, a labeler. I know you're gonna feel like a tool at first, labeling like everything. You're like, of course, that's where the toothpaste goes. But it might be obvious to you, but not always to everyone in your family, right? So I'm totally geeked about this. My husband actually bought one for his work because he's so into labels now. He bought a labeler. So while we were at Staples, I saw that there was some for like $14. So it's not expensive to label your stuff. Getting a labeler is just a lot easier than typing out labels on your computer and then going around your house. You can just carry it around with you. Once you found a home for something, label it up. I'm going to give you a super good example of how sometimes when you're like organizing and you buy all these containers and you're like, yes, containers are going to solve my problem, but you don't like label properly, it can cause even more work finding what you need than before when it was just a big old pile. So we went somewhere for Christmas. I'm not going to mention because I love you. And she was like, oh, look at my closet, it's all organized. And it looked gorgeous, like all these matching nice totes everywhere. And I was like really impressed. I was like, wow, your closet looks awesome. Your like bathroom linen closet, whatever. And then I cut my finger like a half an hour later and I'm like, oh man, do you have a Band-Aid? And it was like, oh yeah. And then we opened up the closet. We literally had to go through like every bin to find the Band-Aids because it was just like, yeah, it looked pretty, but it totally wasn't functional. So a labeler would have solved that problem, or at least putting all like first aid items together, but labeling it for other family members. Like after you say your teenage son cuts his finger, he goes through everything, he's not gonna take the time to put it all back, but if it was so easy, he could open it up and be like, first aid, that's where the Band-Aids are. Because it's labeled, you're not gonna have as much mess. So that's my tip. Buy lots of bins, lots of baskets, and a labeler. Trust me, you'll thank me. Okay, that's your tip of the day, and we'll see you next time.